So, Flotilla was raided and people were tortured. Greta was one of them. Gen Z flags might be replacing national flags, and the government ain't too happy about that. Also, it is now made illegal to have unreadable handwriting, especially here in India, if you are a doctor. And as always, ICE is terrorizing people in America, saying you gotta catch them all if they look brown. Hello, I'm VALF, a voice actor and a video editor. If you need my services, the links are in the description, and if you want to support the channel, grab some merch. All links are in the description. Think fast. Stone, paper, scissors, shoot! My left ear is blocked for some reason. I cannot hear out of my left ear. I don't know what happened. I looked up some videos. I tried doing some research and I found out there's mucus stuck behind the eardrum. It's weird, man. I'm scared. Never happened to me. My videos have become all about me complaining. Anyways, so it is getting brutal out there. What I mean by that is immigration laws are becoming strict around the world. The world is becoming more and more racist in a sense. Like in Japan, for example, Japan could potentially have its first ever female prime minister who is very much against immigration. Most people thought, you know what, that this might be a good thing. Maybe Japan is becoming more woke. But then she was like, nah. Actually, she's everything Japan has already been, but 2 times harder. Love that, love that. Immigration is becoming a big issue around the world. Unless you are one of the upper echelons, it's pretty much difficult or impossible for you to move to your desired country. Unless you have a lot of money. It's impossible. So apparently if you have a lot of money, the government is like, well, come in, we'll take your money. I mean, we'll take you in gladly. Actually, we'll give you citizenship through investment. Go ahead, come right in. Also, there is this video going viral of this frog being pepper sprayed. Well, it's not pepper spray. I think it's bear maze. We'll get to that in a minute. So a person on TikTok who goes by the name anti-fascist frog? I forgot the username. They were attacked by ICE agents. The poor thing was just doing this thing. It was just shaking its belly and it was so hilarious to me. I laughed at it so many times. If I watched that clip again, I would burst out laughing. It's so funny to me. But that poor frog was attacked. An ICE agent intentionally sprayed the breathing hole the person uses to breathe in that costume. And a lot of netizens are saying, oh, chill out, bro. It's not pepper spray. It's bear mace, which hurts less, apparently. So it's stupid to me because it's like, are you kidding me? It's a silly argument. ICE agents been terrorizing for a while now. They're terrorizing families that sort of look like immigrants. Mind you, Donald Trump, who passed a big beautiful bill, himself belongs to a German immigrant family. His family is from Germany. He was born in America, but for some reason, he has the right to be here because he's white, but others who legally made it to America and gave birth to their sons or daughters are not allowed because they're inherently brown or they look a bit brown. That's just pure racism. And you might hear people say, oh, he's just getting rid of violent, unregistered immigrants. That is not the case. The truth is, even if you possess an American passport, even if you are an American citizen, if you have a little bit of brown in you, and most importantly, if Donald Trump hates you or dislikes you for whatever reason, you're illegal. You're considered illegal because Donald Trump doesn't like you. The ICE is assaulting US citizens. Why? Because they can. But California is like, I'd like to see you try. California just made things harder for Donald and ICE. How? Well, they placed a couple of restrictions that the ICE agents have to follow. They cannot go into schools and terrorize kids. They cannot cover their faces unless it's absolutely necessary or they're undercover, and they have to display their badge number, and they cannot raid people's homes like they've been doing for the past few weeks. Yeah, a lot of ICE agents were taking advantage of the opportunity that they don't have to show their faces. It's like a bunch of thugs masked thugs who don't identify themselves, kidnapping kids, manhandling people, and in some instances, killing people. How far did America fall? It got to a point where people are literally afraid to go anywhere. They're everywhere, roaming around like gang members. It's so dystopian to me. Like, this kind of stuff is happening in America. Whew, okay. So I just realized that I forgot to cover one of the stories. It's about the Gen Z flag that's been making rounds and pissing off governments around the world. I guess the flags were first seen in the protests that happened in Indonesia, and then in Nepal, and then in France, and now I guess in Ladakh. There seems to be a pattern because it's happening a lot. So the flag kind of looks like this, and it represents fighting against oppression, being there for your friends. The flag has a skull that's wearing a straw hat. It's kind of cute. It's from an anime called One Piece, pretty popular in Japan. It's pretty long too. I don't think I will live long enough to finish this. The Gen Zs are using it, and the governments are not happy about it, and yeah, they think that it's offensive to use the flag when you have your own national flag that you can use. Why not use both? Okay, so Indian High Court just mandated that all doctors should have pristine handwriting. Well, at least readable handwriting. A lot of doctors in India would prescribe medicine. They would just scribble on a piece of prescription, and the guy selling the medicine would have to decipher what he actually meant when he wrote that prescription. And that led to a lot of deaths. Like back in 2014, a 3-year-old kid died due to misprescribed injections. And so to combat this, the court is also recommending using computers, because that would eliminate the need for writing the prescription with your own hands. But a lot of doctors are saying, well, we don't have enough resources available because in some rural villages, you don't have access to computers. So in that case, it's just not possible. But a lot of people are actually pushing back by saying, well, it doesn't take you forever to write a prescription, right? So why not just fix your handwriting so people can read what you wrote? It doesn't have to be pristine, just make it readable. But doctors are saying, well, we deal with a lot of patients. We can't, we're too busy. What do you mean? That is so dangerous. So people are rightfully angry. They're like, why can't the doctors do the job that they're getting paid to do? Now, not all doctors have terrible handwritings, okay? Some just do it out of laziness. Others, it's just what I think, and I'm not sure if it is true, but I think that a lot of doctors don't know how to spell the medicines that they're prescribing, so they just scribble, hoping that the guy at the pharmacy will understand what he's trying to say. So now the High Court is forcing people fix their handwriting or just switch to computers, because that would, clear things up, and it would make things less confusing. It's crazy to me because some doctors have the gall to say, oh, we can't write things properly because we're so busy. It does not take you that long to write a freaking word. For the love of God, do your job properly. This could lead to someone misreading the prescription, and this led to death. And this could lead to serious complications down the line that the patient has to deal with. Oh, I'm just so angry. Now let's go back to Japan. There was this video that went quite viral recently of this old guy getting pushed by this streamer, which was kind of hard to watch.
Okay. Che, oye, che. Date quieto ya, Dios. Arriba un poco, tío. Hey, stop, bro. Don't touch me, bro. Stop, yeah, che. Dios.
And when I first watched the video, I was like, what a horrible guy. Who hits their grandpas like that? But the clip I saw was trimmed, so I only saw the part where the streamer got up and pushed the old guy. And so I was under the impression that the foreigner just did it for views because he seemed really angry and the way he pushed him was very aggressive. But then I found the original video. Obviously, it doesn't justify him being that aggressive towards that old guy, because you have to understand this, okay? Japan doesn't take kindly to foreigners yapping during public transport. Literally nobody talks, okay? It's kind of an unspoken rule that you're not supposed to break. And bro break multiple rules while he was on the train. But sadly, these incidents are becoming more and more common in Japan because some foreigners literally believe they can get away with pretty much anything, which is alarming to say the least. But there's also this Japanese demographic that's becoming more and more violent towards foreigners, gaijin. After analyzing the video, it's clear that the old guy approached him a bit aggressively. He
Aquí y dice, it's okay? Ah, no. It's okay or no? What is this? ¿Qué pasa? Que no se puede hacer ruido, ¿no? No lo sé. No me voy a calentar, ya se no. Chicos, vamos a Fukuoka ya right now, yes. Jamás. Pues no. Tampoco ha pasado nada, coño. No te sé, sí, sí. But it's okay. Che.
kind of smacked him before saying whatever he said, and he confronted him twice. The streamer was literally agitated, so he got up and he pushed him, which was totally uncalled for. I mean, look at that guy. That's an old guy. You did not need to push him that hard. I read the comments on that video, and a lot of Japanese people were very upset. They were making threats, saying stuff like, get out of this country, go away, don't come to this country and whatnot. I get that. I get the frustration. But I also feel for people who have done nothing wrong, you know? There are people out there in Japan who do follow the rules. They obviously don't want to get in anyone's way. They're just trying to live a normal life. But they get treated poorly, or they get racially attacked for being a foreigner, which I guess is something that they brought on themselves for acting so poorly. But I'm just saying that for a few bad apples, you cannot just dismiss the rest of them just because they look alike. People who have done nothing wrong hear stuff like get out of this country or just get out of here and refuse services when they clearly have done nothing wrong. Yeah, and it's kind of sad to see. I believe if this behavior persists, they don't have to close the borders. People won't come to Japan. Ideally, I want the foreigners or tourists to feel safe, and the citizens. It's kind of a, you know, give and take. But yeah, both of them are in the wrong. Yeah, I just think that this situation could have been handled differently. But yeah, that's my take. All right, so recently, I'm not sure if y'all heard the news, but the flotilla that was heading to You done honking? Good. The flotilla that was heading to Gaza was under attack. These are people who tried to break the siege. They were carrying baby formulas that's been documented and verified by so many people and outlets, but they're still trying to accuse that they had.
Hi everyone, it is Lizzie Savetsky. I'm reporting to you live from Greta's flotilla, where 44 boats were intercepted yesterday, allegedly bringing aid to Gaza. Margarita machine and some empty bottles.
Notice how she didn't show the bottles.
No aid. It's so weird. All I see is some condom wrappers.
Notice how she didn't show the condom wrappers.
Drug paraphernalia, needles.
And she makes a big claim about paraphernalia, doesn't show it either.
No aid. We've given the pro-Hamas flotilla an Israeli makeover. Am Yisrael Chai.
And then posted this on X, come with a warning. Readers added context. The video does not show the flotilla's boats. The original clip is geotagged in Tel Aviv. This is all fake. Blue State controls our mainstream media and pushes out a ton of fake news. But now they hire all these social media stars because they're losing the social media game. And they have less standards to tell the truth.
Am Yisrael Chai.
Good God. Anyways, so the ship that were carrying nationals from around the world was raided and attacked, and they were taken as hostages. They were starved, weren't allowed to eat or drink for a prolonged period of time. Some have even reported that Greta was pulled by her hair and she was made to kiss the Israeli flag. Like, you could tell that these people are so sick in the head. They wanted to shoot Greta. They were like, oh, my fingers are twitching. Oh, I want to pull the trigger so bad. I want to do it so bad. I can't believe I have to resist the urge to not shoot at a kid. Oh, this is so hard. Maybe if I don't look, I can control the urge. Why is she famous? Why does she have to be famous? I want to kill so bad. That is what most of these people was struggling with. These are sick people. Very, very sick. However, there is something else I need to point out that Greta isn't the only person who was there. Obviously, she is the main figure who made this symbolic march to Gaza possible, but there were others too who played crucial roles, and they were able to organize this whole thing only to be able to get food into Gaza, where there is a famine, a man-made famine that could be prevented even right now as we speak. They suffered just as much, if not more, alongside of Greta as well. But this was a symbolic march. This further proves the truth that we're trying to bring forth, because no amount of propaganda can erase the facts. No amount of PR could make them look good, because people are finally starting to see the truth. These people will go down in history. And I know Greta's name might be mentioned more because she's a prominent figure, but the rest of the crew members that were there, they were doing something that those of us with even a shred of conscience left in our heart and our mind wish we could do, especially those who care about humanity still. I want to mention something before I play Greta's clip, because I feel like I gotta give credit to those who are courageous enough to actually talk about this, because a lot of content creators are clearly afraid of speaking about this because of the consequences, especially when there is like so much censorship, hate, crackdown against pro-Palestinian voices. If you're one of those people who are posting about Palestine, if you're one of those creators who are making an effort, you deserve respect. Because sure, after this thing dies down, say 10 years from now, there will be people saying, oh, that was a terrible genocide. This should have never happened. Oh my God, peace sign. It's easy to say these things then because there will be no consequences. But right now, if you speak about it, knowing there will be consequences, then you're the most selfless person alive. And you, my friend, are rare. Despite all the propaganda, you choose to look at facts and stand with humanity anyway. And that is what shows that you truly care. That you don't care about race, color, ethnicity, or money. You just want peace. And that is what motivates you. If there was a badge I could give you, I would. Because I know you are the kind of person who would talk about these issues even if it was against yourself. Because that is what Islam says. Speak the truth even if it is against yourself. If tomorrow a Muslim nation was persecuting and doing ethnic cleansing, we would talk about it. We would call it out, because that is what we believe in. Anyways, here's what Greta had to say after getting deported.
Flotilla was the biggest ever attempt to break Israel's illegal and inhumane siege by sea. And it is a story of global, international solidarity, of people stepping up when our governments failed to do so, of people saying that my leaders, so-called leaders who are supposed to represent me, who continue to fuel a genocide, death and destruction, they do not represent me. And this is a last resort. That this mission has to exist, it's a shame. It is a shame. And I could talk for a very, very long time about our mistreatment and abuses in our imprisonment, trust me, but that is not the story. What happened here was that Israel, while continuing to worsen and escalate their genocide and mass destruction with genocidal intent, attempting to erase an entire population, an entire nation in front of our very eyes, they once again violated international law by preventing humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza while people are being starved. This genocide and other genocides are being enabled and fueled by our own governments, our institutions, our media and companies. It is our responsibility to end that complicity. And I also... No, not heroes. No, we are doing the bare minimum. What we are doing is not in any way, no one has to come to the rescue of Palestinian people. What we are doing is hearing and acting upon their calls for people all over the world to take action and end our complicity, to use our privileges, our platforms, take a stance against this that is in every way unjustifiable.